Renaissance history class. And thanks to Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I was able to fly by that class while falling asleep in the back of the class. Alright, so let's get to setting up the scene. So I kind of want this small box scene right here, like this. And I want a door. And I want like a little bell. You know, the little bell? I like the little bell. The bell is a good way to show that the door has opened. Ding, ding. I do have to design the clerk guy. Actually, let's do that very quickly. Let's design our clerk guy. I want him... Well, it sends good feelings. Exactly. You know what I kind of want? Yes! I am. I'm kind of feeling this with a side. Can I just get like a full body? Okay. That's fan art. Whatever, I know how to draw. So, actually, if you guys want, speaking of interactive shit, you guys want to do an interactive thing with me? Y'all want to design this guy with me? I.e., do you want to draw him alongside me? If you do, take a moment, grab a piece of paper and pencil, or open whatever art tab thing that you use, art program. Put me on the second monitor like you already have. And follow along. Once I get started, I'll wait like a minute and a half. We're going to use this one picture of Alex Louis Armstrong as reference, but everything else is going to be pretty much wholesale. I already know what I want. I just want to take you guys through the process that I go through. And I'll try to explain it as I go. And I would like you guys to tag in with this as well, because why not? It'd be fun. I'm just going to be mostly working in this space over here. Shit. And I am going to do like actual figure drawing to kind of help proportion things out a little bit. All right. I'm going to hope that you have stuff to draw with if you're going to follow along. If not, then you can just watch. It's okay. I don't mind. As usual, I'm going to actually start with this little marker up here. That is top of the head. And then I'm going to say down here is bottom of the feet. Now, roughly, this is actually about the length of my pencil. Like if I... Okay, it's a little bit more than the length of my pencil. But this is about... If I'm sitting back in my chair and I'm looking at it, this is like the length of my pencil. So it is pretty fucking tall. But that's okay. Because you can do this with any size that you want, as long as you give yourself a good amount of room. We're just doing a regular standing pose. So I am going to have it built like this. Pretty shrimple. So stand just a baseline there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that line in half. Very, very rough proportions. But what I've just done is I've marked where the hips are. These are the hips. We obviously know this is the top of the head. And this is the bottom of the feet. Right? So everything from here on, sorry. Everything from here on is built out of this. Straight up. Like legs. All right, I was going to do a 3/4 turn, but I'm just going to do it straight on turn. So all I'm going to do is from the hips, I'm just going to draw straight down. I'm not worried about thighs. I'm not worried about leg placement. I don't really care about that right now. Those are his feet. These are his legs. Even gonna add like little toesies. Doesn't matter. Boom. I have already just drawn his whole lower half. If you're following along, so have you. You've cut it down the middle. You've drawn all the way down to this little marker down here. Bada bang, bada boom. You've done it. Good job. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go up to this other part up here. And this is going to be kind of our focus for a little bit, is we're actually going to take this upper part and we're going to cut this in half. And then we're going to cut it into, is that fourths? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to say that's fourths. This top part, we're going to add the circle. We're going to cut the second part right here in half as well. And then we're going to cut this down here in half. And we're going to drop this down. There's our rib cage, roughly. We're going to cut this in half as well. That's going to become the basis of our hips. Our like little pelvis. That's our pelvis. And then we're going to draw lines from the shoulder. So where the edges of this kind of drop down. Bada bing. Bada boom. Congratulations. If you just followed along, you just drew a person. Very proud of you. Now, of course, there are some things to this that I need to adjust proportionally because I did just kind of break it down a little bit. But this is as proportional as a person as we're going to get. Now, I do, after having done this, I should have said for you, if you were following along, to do this very lightly. Because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to lower the opacity of this. I'm going to start fucking with it a little bit more. Step 1. I'm actually going to give one side a little bit of weight. I'm going to give this character contrapposto. What that means, I'm going to pull up an example of it. Hopefully without a wee-wee. Contrapposto. I can spell it right. Without a wee-wee. I don't want to see a wee-wee. No wee-wee, please. There's so many wee-wees. Technically, that isn't a wee-wee. So that works. There you go. Not a wee-wee. But basically, contrapposto is this concept of, if I take this actually, let me go over here. Is a very neutral way that the body kind of naturally stands, is shoulders at a pivoted angle and then the hips at like an opposite angle. So they kind of do like a bang bang kind of thing. Right? It's kind of this like bending motion while also still being straight. It gives it a little bit more pizzazz. It's kind of how... Okay, once again, if you're following along, do me a solid. Stand up. Get up. We've done this before. Stand up. I want you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart and just stand on both, stand on both legs. Put your weight on both legs, right? That shit fucking sucks. This is probably very uncomfortable. This is very, structured. Probably a little bit of hell on your knees. Kind of sucks. Now, adjust your feet a little bit and stand relaxed. I bet right now you probably have all of your weight on one leg. That one leg is probably directly under your head. That is the hip, by the way, that is higher up. Because all of that weight is being supported on that hip. The other side of the hip is being lax, so it is lower down, and you probably have more ability to move that second leg around. That can go anywhere. That can go a little bit behind so that you can be standing on your toe. That can be a little more forward so you can be like sticking your leg out like, ooh, yeah, mama. Or you can have it even over to the side. But none of that is affecting your balance. You can move that leg around as much as you want, but all of that weight is on that main leg, and that is not going anywhere. That is your weighted leg. That will give all of your poses so much more life if you're doing that. Also, your shoulders are going to naturally kind of move as well, because your rib cage is a little more structured and a little more rigid. So because your hips are at an angle, your body is going to naturally try to equalize itself, but it can only move so much, so your shoulders are also going to be moved a little bit as well. So because of that, you got a little bit of sass. So if we go back over our little guy here that we've already doodled a little bit of, right? We have our base structure of what he's supposed to look like. If I get rid of that. Right, if we go back here, we're over top of him. I'm going to go back into this, right? We're going to go over the head. This head structure is perfectly fine. This works great. But all we're going to do is we're going to cock the hips like a little bit to the side. And then cock the shoulders just like a little bit to the side. And then we're going to put this leg a little bit more down the center. And then we're going to put this leg out just like a little bit. So this leg is now at like an awkward slant because it has more give. It has more swoop. So it can just kind of be up there. And then let's say we'll put a hand on a hip here and an arm there. I just subtly, not even that much, tilted the character. I tilted this pivot point and this pivot point. That's all I did. I haven't added any, anatomy. I haven't done any face structure. I haven't done anything super crazy yet. But I've given him just that much more sass. I've made him feel a little bit more natural than he's just like a stick. Now, on top of this, once again, sorry for those that probably actually have like a pencil and paper. I'm going to take this down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually apply a little bit of shape language to the rest of the body going over top of this base sketch that we've done. Step one, I'm trying to go for a Armstrong, right? So I want him to be very blocky, very square, very strong, very wide. So step one, for his head, I'm actually going to square it off. So still keeping within like the top of the head and bottom of the circle itself, I'm going to square it a little bit. Just like that. Just kind of drawing a square around the circle. Then on top of that, I'm also going to make his shoulders really wide. About from the, what is it? What the fuck is it? From like the if you cut the square in half and then you go another half out, about that size for the arms. And then we're going to go about halfway down the little pivot point between the pelvis and the center point here. We're going to go wide. We're going to go about the same width as the square for his head. And then we're going to connect that up. So he's got kind of like a blocky build up here. Then what we're going to do is I'm actually going to drag this. Like if we take halfway from here and halfway from here. Right. So like halfway up the like end bit of the little trapezoid. I'm actually going to block that out. I'm going to make this guy a little large. And then what we're going to do on top of that is we're going to now connect those like that. And drop the hips like so. Yeah. Keeping in line with that original sketch that we did as well. See how everything's still kind of working underneath it? Nothing super standing out here. And then I'm going to... I do like the little underwear thing to kind of mark out where my legs go. I'm going to drop it about to the bottom of the pelvis to about there. So just like this little bikini line. And this is where the legs can kind of stick out. Then I'm going to cut the legs in half here and legs in half here. And that becomes the thigh. Just draw a rectangle for that up to crotch point. Same thing over here. And then same thing down to the bottom of the feet. Just kind of taper it a little bit. You hide all of that. Boom. We've got like kind of a fat dude. It's kind of just got like a body on him. We're going to go back in here. We're going to add at the bottom of the little nubbins. We're going to do a triangle. And then just kind of make that look nice. I do like this little like half triangle thing on the back of the foot. So like if you have your ankle, you have the triangle for the foot, and then you have this back triangle over here that then connects to the bottom of the foot. That's how you kind of get like that foreshortened foot a little bit. You can also droop it if you want. Where you do like a trapezoid like that, and then you do that. I sometimes do that, but I'm just doing the triangle for right now, so he's standing kind of flat. And then we can go into the arms. I already know where I want his arms to go, so I can just kind of figure out the general, like I know that I want this kind of L shape here, and then I want this other arm to kind of be like over here. But this arm still has to end around the end of the crotch point because that's where the hand can start. And then I'm just gonna bring out this rectangle that kind of matches up to the rest of these shoulders. Up to there. And then I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna do a square for the hand that kind of comes off like that. And then do another little square. So then that's his fingers. We don't have to get much crazier with that. And then we can kind of do this with his hand. For the hand that I did there, I did like a little triangle like that. Thumb, finger. The thumb should go about the same height as that. And then the finger should be like about the same height as the thumb. But it's just on that like differing thing there. It's just on a different part of the slope, but it still gives like hand look. And then on top of that, if you want to get a little crazy with it, you can add an extra finger behind it. It gives it a little bit more like fold. Because, you know, if you hold your hand just like neutral, like you're not holding anything, it kind of falls into that. Like your hand kind of naturally curls into itself. Your hand isn't like flat. Your hand, when it's resting, isn't doing this, hopefully. That looks awkward. This looks more natural. And then I'm gonna actually drop... If we cut the square in half, we cut those sections in half, that amount of distance should be how much I give to the bottom of his chin. I'm going to give him kind of a wide chin. Actually, I think I'm going to give him like a cleft chin. And I'm just going to build that into the rest of the face. And then from here, as not super close, but kind of close to the edge of the chin, I'm going to do the neck. And then from midpoint of the neck, I'm going to connect that to the arms. I'm going to give the arm a little bit more curve here. This is a little sharp. And I'm also going to give his legs a little bit more meat, so I'm going to kind of curve them out a little bit more. And then I'm also going to do the calf thing that I do. Also, about the halfway point, you can do like a little for the knee. And then from wherever this would like hit this little intersection point, you just draw another little line. That's another knee. And then another side over here. And then knee. And then you can do the giant fat pack of the calf itself. It's kind of just like that shape. And sometimes it'll, especially in larger bodies, it'll kind of be out like a little bit like that. But there you go. I don't know how well you followed along with that if you were following along, but hopefully that worked. And then for my own sake, I'm going to go up here. About where this center point is kind of where I want the ears to extend out of. All of my characters are elves. Humans don't exist, so I give him elf ears. I'm going to kind of round out his head a little bit so it's not super square. It's still a little structured. And there we go. There is our basis for this character's body. Not even talking about his nose, not even getting into any clothes yet. Just, there you go. There's his body. And I can hide that under layer, and now I can start kind of working with this top layer. Again, you see how many layers of sketches I've done already? I've done 4. I haven't even gotten to any details yet. This is why I say take your time. Build your foundations before you start going super crazy with anything. So now, we can start looking at our buddy over here, Alex Louise Armstrong. Notable features are very strong nose. Usually the nose starts. Bro, are you sucking my paws right now?
Hell yeah!
Money jump scare.
Yeah, you're not fucking joking about the money jump scare. Holy shit. My god. Thank you, mouse. Holy shit. Hate it. Like, y'all saw how fucking scared I got while I was playing horror games? Like, can I pull up the Yelp? Can I pull up the little Yelp? Where's my Yelp? I didn't I fucking clip it? I swear I clipped it.
Bro, are you sucking my paws?
Okay, and it
right
plays again.
now?
Yeah. Okay, so that one's that one. Okay. No, we just played that wasn't my Yelp. Water womb, don't fix her pipes. That's it. Found it. Yeah, it comes right up. It got a dislike? Who disliked it? Fucking losers.
That. What was that little thing? What was that?
Trying to get to the part
The
where
exact same rotational position.
Oh.
If anything.
Okay, the Yelp is coming up. Just for classics.
Full like 360. Like in the fucking Exorcist, I can just like turn my head around.
Dad
okay,
took
I wanna
you
look at
gambling.
this.
Oh well, I'm glad I got your
What is that?
gambling winnings.
Yo, what is that? Did you
Appreciate
just,
it,
like,
Mouse.
shit
Thank you.
next to the
Seriously.
toilet?
Oh, no. No. I remember.
I'm gonna no clip through here. I swear. I'm gonna do it.
No, Sydney, no. Don't go towards the hallway. It's the silence afterwards. I wasn't crying, I was laughing, by the way. That's not fair. That wasn't fair. That wasn't funny. Fuck you,
was so real. That was pure. That. What is that?
I want it to happen again.
Yo, what is that? Did you just like shit
Like
next to the toilet?
it's so real. It's such a real fucking scream.
I'm gonna no clip through here. I swear. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
It's such a like. It's not a Markiplier scream. When did it do it again?
Hey, buddy. Can I? Am I allowed? Am I allowed to?
Oh, it's when I leave. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I'm bringing my. Okay, no. I need my emotional support skull. What is it with horror games and just like making it?
It's
so
going
that,
fine.
Like objects become.
I'm doing like a
pieces
little
of-
tutorial thing, but I got reminded of being
You
spooked.
know what I mean? Like it happened with PewDiePie.
But we'll get back to the guided bit in a second. We were doing a guided like character design
Don't
thing.
trust her. I don't trust how slow this is either. This is like definitely tension to something. Like she's gonna kill me at the end of this. She's gonna scream at the end of this. I swear to God, she's gonna scream at the end of this. Fuck you if you scream at the end of this. Let me go. Fuck off. Just go die.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right here.
Alright. Okay, we made it out of that. All right, if I walk through this door, don't scream at me. You don't. Fuck off! You said I could go. Fuck off.
Got your wrench right here. You almost forgot it. Thanks for fixing my pipe.
Oh, go kill yourself.
We'll do like a story time thing. How many games did I play? I played Kitty Kart. That was fun. Water Womb World was not very good. I did not enjoy Water Womb World. Where's the other one that I got spooked by? M is for murder. I remember pet sitting was fun. I like pet sitting. That was a good game. I didn't hate pet sitting. Anyways, back to our guided doodling. So I'm gonna start with his nose. I'm actually gonna start up here by this little cross section, and I'm gonna do this little kind of like half diamondish shape for this part of the nose up here. I'm then going to bridge it over, and I'm going to bring it down. Water Womb World. It was not very good. It's not a very good game. I'm going to bring it down to about this halfway point that we marked earlier. And then I'm going to droop it down even further by adding the bottom of the nose. So already, boom. Then I'm going to copy his mustache. But I think I kind of want more like a broom mustache than I want like anything else. So I'm going to do like an Omni-Man mustache. And then we're going to color it in so it looks like a mustache. And I'm also going to give his chin a little bit more detail. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a face. And then I'm going to give him like a little bit of a... No, I won't. It doesn't need to show up. Now from here, about where this bridge, this little point here, down here, I'm going to add the eye. I'm just going to start with an eyelid. Same thing on the other side, eyelid. Now, for male characters, you usually have to go for smaller eyes. Otherwise, they're going to be a little too young looking. I'm going to go with like kind of these dot eyes. And then lower this, and then up, and then down, and then up. Kind of give him a little bit more of a relaxed look. And then we'll give him some eyebrows. Just above the eyes. 'Cause that's where they go. I'll make them kind of thick. And then I do want the little, like... Because I think that's adorable. And I'm going to do, like, a little subtle thing around his head. Actually, I'm just going to kind of round out his head a bit. And I'm going to add some wrinkles to the rest of his face. So under his eyes, around his mouth. Not necessarily across his nose. Definitely like one above the forehead. And then we'll drop down that neck a little bit. And I'll give him an Adam's apple. It's usually how I make characters' necks like a little more masculine, is by giving them an Adam's apple. Kind of cleft up the chin a little bit more too. Here we go. There's like old man face. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a V-neck that's not super deep, about there. I'm going to have one side folded out. Or both sides folded out for fun, I guess. And then about here, I'm actually going to have the top of an apron. It's going to go about to where the ends of his arms go. And then I'm going to have this droop down and hit about here. And I'm going to have this kind of fold down like this and be some buttons. I'm going to have this kind of follow his gut. Like that. I'm going to have a few lines here. And then I'm going to have this taper down into the apron kind of shape. And then what I'll do is add a little fold like this, because it's wrapping around the leg and then also wrapping around the leg, and it's kind of going into this little divot section, but it is still a flat piece. Same thing up here. Do like a little there across the chest. And then what I'll also do is give him some rolled up sleeves, which usually start around the midway of the arm. Usually when you roll up your sleeves, they're not sat. They're either sat after the elbow or above the elbow. Usually I go above elbow. I kind of do this little like zigzag shape that you see here so that it gives it folds. That. And then I go and give his shoulders this kind of like sharper cut. I should make that a little more subtle so it follows the rest of his shoulder. Because shirts, if you ever looked at them, they actually have kind of like a curve. They kind of do with that. Because they have the stitching here where the arms are. This is kind of like sharp. This is kind of a more squared off section. Instead of a rolling shirt, I do with that. Gives it a little bit more. And then depending on how sharp you make it, kind of changes the texture of the shirt itself. And then I kind of fan it out a little bit to kind of show that the material is like pooling, because it is swooping into the fold. And then there should be like a little bit extra there. And I'm actually going to give him really big forearms. Well, as big as I can give him. Technically, you should have like really big hands too, but like there's only so much I can really do. I'm gonna kind of carve out his big meaty claws a little bit more. I'm gonna hide that behind that just because it looks awkward otherwise. And then around his ankles, I'll have a pants. That'll be a little bit more form shapey. The top of the pant kind of comes in, falls around the knee. Back of the pant kind of goes down into the divot here, and then around like that. And then once again, similar to the sleeves, it kind of pools down, so it kind of fans out a little bit, or fans in. Same thing over here. So kind of like down and over. And then I will give him big blocky boots. Feel like he'd be a boot wearing guy. So I'm gonna give him kind of like a defined toe, and then like that kind of. So that. And then the soles of the boot as well. Usually just follow the bottom of the foot. He got them Timbs. My dad used to work for Timberlands. And then we'll do the little splits for the shirt. And then also just to kind of give his design a little bit more oomph, I will sketch in the rest of his top. And then also for funsies, I will give him very hairy arms. And there you go. I mean, his legs are a little bit jank, but we're not going to see them too much. He is going to be, in fact, behind a desk. But that is how I took Alex Louis Armstrong and turned him into a delivery clerk. Shrimple. If you were following along with my dog shit tutorial, I would like to see what you did. Send it to the new channel that we made, that Vorkson made actually. Where is it? In-stream activity. You can post it there. It's under bulletin board. But no pressure. I would like to see how well my guidance helped, though, if anybody did follow along. But there we go. We got our buddy. We got a basic sketch of what I want him to look like. So now when we hop back over here to the very much thing that we haven't worked on. This will be clipped out for later. Probably. Should be. I think it'll be smart. I have to like keep that on the side. Also, a bit more on that is because of all of the shapes that we were able to build up from, like this square and everything. When we flip back around to a different angle, I know what shapes I'm working with. Oh, you didn't have to. It was just an option. Just figured it'd be fun to do like a draw it with me kind of thing while I designed the guy. Because by the way, that was in real time figuring that out. That wasn't like... I obviously had a plan of what I wanted him to look like, but that was all like off the cuff. And have a little bit more of like a jaw. I like his little fucking thing up there. Okay, yeah. Makes him look a little bit more gaunt. I want it to be like a wide shot, and then I want like this split right here.